Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here for another 8-4 M13 draft. We've opened a I'd say a very good pack. Despite the fact that there's no removal in this pack, really, I guess Unsummon and Deadly Recluse is usually removal. I don't know, I like Sarah Avenger a lot. I think this card's awesome. Definitely good. Certainly worthy of a first pick. I don't see any reason not to pick up the Sarah Avenger here. Other notably good cards in this pack are Roaring Primadox, which has a lot of good synergies in all colors. Torch Fiend is decent. Blade Tuskboar is a good evasive creature. Deadly Recluse, very good. Unsummon, very good. I like Mog Flunkies. I don't have any problem with this card at all. Some people do. I don't think it's good. Yeah, I'd say we'll just pick up a Sarah Avenger, get a nice little... I like to be able to pick my first rare, and this one's actually just a good finisher. I think Sarah Avenger is a very strong card, so happy to pick that up first. What do we follow it up with? Well, we've got some options here. I like Chronometon, it's colorless, and just a good creature. Harbor Bandit, awesome if you're in black-blue. Really awkward if I were to pick it up after the Sarah Avenger. Public Execution is a good card, worthy of a splash, or fine if I was to do some sort of black-white exalted strategy, which is fine. I don't think I've gotten to draft that strategy. No, I drafted it once, and I liked it. I think black-white exalted is a very good limited strategy. I think my pick here is going to be the Divine Verdict. I just like this card in general, and its removal. I've already got a white pick. I don't have to pick up the Execution, although probably Execution would just be stronger, since even though you pay a couple extra mana, it can be like a total blowout to your opponent. I don't know, maybe Divine Verdict's better just because it's cheaper, but I mean it also has requirements, you know. Either way, I'm just going to pick the Divine Verdict here. I like it enough. Okay, so pick number 3. What is the strongest card in this pack? Probably the Blade Tuskboar would be the strongest, just because this card can pretty easily finish games, does it relatively fast. I think War Priest of Thune is fine. There's a lot of good auras in this set. This would keep us on color. It's totally playable. It's just like a bear that can do, you know, a bonus effect. It's a May ability too, so there's no fear of destroying your own enchantments. Yeah, I mean, this is probably pretty easily the War Priest of Thune. I like Titanic Growth more in M13 than I do from M12. Between the Ring of Colonia, which gives your creatures trample, and creatures like Spiked Baloth, I just think there's a lot of good creatures to use this on. I guess Garrick's Companion from M12 was an awesome one for Titanic Growth. Yeah, we're going to go with the War Priest of Thune over the Blade Tuskboar. I think Blade Tuskboar... I don't even think. I know Blade Tuskboar is a better card, but I don't mind picking up War Priest of Thune. I think that's fine. Alright, so we've got a couple options here. We've got the War Falcon and Guardians of Akreza, which are on color. We have Mog Flunkies, Titanic Growth, Timberpack Wolf, which I kind of want to make the Timberpack Wolf deck one of these days, where I just pick up like 4 or 5 of them and call it a deck. I think that would actually be pretty legit, since it's a bear on its own and quickly becomes a big threat as you drop more of them. It's kind of cool. Giant Scorpion is also very good. I feel like I probably want to pick something other than the Guardians and the War Falcon here, but possibly not. Maybe I'm not quite ready to go into my second color yet. The thing I'd miss out on most is Giant Scorpion, Mog Flunkies, Titanic Growth. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to go with the Guardians over the War Falcon. War Falcon's actually better than I originally gave it credit for, since it can always defend regardless of whether you have a soldier or not. But, God, we're just passing a million of these Titanic Growths. Alright, so best card in this pack, probably Titanic Growth. Just a trick that's very good. Archaeomancer's fine if you're in blue. Safe Passage is actually a combat trick and can pretty easily win the game. I mean, your opponent goes in for the lethal attack, you fog it and crack back and kill him. I see that being a scenario that Safe Passage can cause quite frequently. So, saying that, I probably am just going to pick the Safe Passage, I think, over the Titanic Growth. We've passed 3 of these now, though. It's whoever's getting all those is going to be Happy camper. Okay, well, Ring of Thune, Servant of Nephirox, Turn to Slag, Show of Valor, Sentinel Spider is insane. Passing a lot of good green here. Ring of Thune's fine. I don't know if I'm going to pick it here, though. I think I would rather either pick the Sentinel Spider or the Show of Valor, which is a trick, but I've already got the Safe Passage trick. Kind of tempted to pick up the Sentinel Spider here. I think it's just good, solid win con. It's also very good against Arcera Avenger. Alright, so if I pick the Sentinel Spider, I'm missing out on the Ring of Thune, which is good, but I think I just like Sentinel Spider that much more. Yeah, I just love this Sentinel Spider. He's so strong. So now I kind of wish I'd picked the Titanic Growth over the Safe Passage, especially since we just got past another one, but I'm going to live with it. I'm going to lick my wounds on that one and just accept that it happened. So, second Safe Passage, Pillarfield Ox. Pillarfield Ox is good if you pick up enough Exalted guys. We've got the Guardians so far, but there's plenty more other ones I could get. No good green picks now. Crippling Blight's fine. Probably just picking up the Ox. Like to pick up another creature over a second Safe Passage, I guess, so we'll do that. Angelic Benediction is actually very good. I like that card, and not a ton else other options. Vastwood Gorger's fine too, but yeah, I think we'll just go with the Benediction, go a little more towards this Exalted idea. So here's our first pack, and it looks like Flunky's wielded, which is kind of surprising. I think I'm going to pick the Flunkies over the Hulk. I usually don't have a hard time picking up 6 drops, so I'm not really worried about passing that. And Flunkies can actually be a good card. Who knows? Maybe we'll actually play some sort of white-red thing. I've definitely have not done that yet. So I like Flunkies more than Torchfiend, I think. All right, so now we got another Safe Passage. We've got Bond Beetle. Looks like I'm probably picking up the Bond Beetle over a second Safe Passage. You know, I've got the Sentinel Spider. I'm not exactly sure what colors I'm in besides white right now. And since I already have Safe Passage, I'd like to just sort of diversify a little bit. Bond Beetle's actually really good, too, if you get some good flyers or whatever. And in an Exalted strategy, it can attack eventually, too, if necessary. If you want to trade with something. I don't know. I guess we'll pick the... I don't really like Wild Guess all that much, and it's pretty heavy red, but we already have a Flunky, so I suppose I'll take the Wild Guess. And here, alright, sweet, we got that Titanic Growth, which I do like more than Canyon Minotaur, so I'm going to pick up the Titanic Growth here. It looks like we could do this sort of white-green thing. Here, I'll definitely take a rare. Guess we'll take another Wild Guess, just sort of cut red in case we don't somehow make it into green. I mean, at this point, I'm pretty sure I'm in green. Glad that we tabled one of those Titanic Growth. That's pretty cool. So far, I like our green pool more than our red pool. But we did just open Volcanic Geyser, which is a pretty awesome card. Alright, so most powerful card in here, probably the Volcanic Geyser. That's about it. The rest are fine, like Vastwood Gorger, Canyon Minotaur, Welkin Turn. All of those are mid, fourth, fifth pick cards, maybe later. Geyser is really standing out as the most devastating, but I think I'm probably going to pick up the Titanic Growth. I mean, the choice, let's not even really count these Wild Guesses, and I might play Fervor. I mean, it's not like the worst card in the world. I think it's fine, actually. But I just like our green pool more than our red pool at the moment. And Touch of the Eternal I've actually played against, and it's fine, but it's a little bit build around, I think. I don't know. It's not even really build around. It's just not really... Sometimes it just has no impact at all. And it's just a 7-drop that didn't do anything. And I don't want to be put in that position. So I think I'd rather pick up the Titanic Growth, which is actually a really good trick, and be happy with that, over the Vastwood Gorger. Alright, let's just start hiding red so I don't have to look at it. Alright, so we've got some options here for sure. Another Benediction, but I don't think that's the choice. I think we're going to go with the Deadly Recluse here. We need some more creatures, and you slap a little Titanic Growth on a Recluse, and you're just taking care of all the threats you could possibly imagine. So definitely picking up the Recluse here. I just like that card in general. Alright. Nothing on color for us here? No, we've got the Silvercoat Lion. Kind of an awkward third pick, though. No doubt. Just not really that impressive of a third pick. Strongest card in the pack. Crimson Muckwader, far and away. This card's amazing. As a 2-drop 3/2 that can suddenly regenerate on turn 3. Bloodhunter Bat is very good. Am I going to be upset about missing out on a Silvercoat Lion if I pick up the Bloodhunter Bat and possibly try to splash for it? I do like the bat a lot. I mean, I've got 7 creatures in round pack 2 now, so I might be hard up for 2 drops. So I suppose I should probably take the Silvercoat Lion. I really do like this bat significantly more, though. Yeah, I guess we'll take the Lion. I don't really like the Grizzly Bears as much in this set. There's very efficiently costed creatures, so they're just a lot less impressive. God, now we're just seeing some stuff that we could use, but it's in a different color. Another Flunkies, Silvercoat Lion again, Servant of Nephrox, which is a sweet card. Attacks at 4, you know, in black, very impressive. Blue Ring, Mark. God, do we have to pick another Silvercoat Lion here? I'm not amazed with it, but I think I'm going to do it. Not happy about it, but I think it's going to be okay overall. Alright, well, here we can pick up Arbor Elf or Captain's Call. Captain's Call would probably be the pick if I had Griffin Protector, but I don't. And it looks like we already have a couple Exalted cards, which makes Captain's Call also less impressive. Whereas Arbor Elf can double now as an attacker with Guardians or a Ramper. So yeah, I think it's pretty clearly the Arbor Elf here. Alright, well, we got a sweet pick here. Battleflight Eagle's fine, but I'm just going to take another Deadly Recluse and be happy with that. Yeah, I like Deadly Recluse. I can pick those up for days. You can pretty much get an infinite amount of Deadly Recluses and be happy. Face Reward. Ever played this card? All permanent cards in your graveyard that were put there from the battlefield this turn. I think it's actually, like, probably legitimate, honestly. I don't think Fate's Reward is going to be all that bad. It allows you to, like, I don't know. It's especially good with the Deadly Recluses because it turns a trade into Fate's Reward becoming a removal spell. I don't know. I can see it being decent. And it's instant speed, so if they like destroy a creature pre-combat and then attack and you play it, bring back your Recluse. I don't know. I can see it doing something. I'm going to pick it up. How many soldiers do I even have? Or knights? You're not a knight or a soldier. You're definitely not. You're not. You are. You're not. Wow, I just don't have many at all. So War Falcon is essentially a 1-mana 2/1 flying defender. Yeah, let's just go with the Guardians. I'm fine with pick up a second one of those. We've got a weird deck going on right now, but I think I can make this work. I think actually Revive is fine for this. Get back a Recluse, get back a Titanic Growth. Titanic Growth becomes a trick that they know about, but it's still sometimes they just don't have any way to get around it. Alright, let's take Revive. Card's not great, but it's fine. Third Silvercoat Lion or a second Safe Passage or Warclamp Mastiff or Fog, I guess. I guess we'll go with the Safe Passage. I don't think I'm going to need triple Silvercoat Lions. I hopefully, ideally, will not even have to play these two. Hopefully I can get better playables than Grizzly Bears. Alright, I guess I'll take a Mastiff now. I guess I'll take the, which I think Fog or Angel's Mercy, which one's better for sideboard? Probably Fog, it's just cheaper. Essentially does the same thing, buys you the time you need, buys you a turn. Definitely take a Naturalize for the sideboard. And I guess we'll pick up an Angel's Mercy for the sideboard too. So now we have Fog, Angel's Mercy, and Naturalize for our sideboard. So that's not bad. We're super short on removal, which kind of sucks. But we do have tricks and creature removal, so I guess that's decent. Still pretty interesting deck. I guess now's about the time I should start picking up some finishers. So we passed a lot of Vasud Gorgers in the... Wow. Well, can't ask for much better than picking a Johnny here. We're certainly picking a Johnny. If it wasn't a Johnny, I'd pick up a second Sentinel Spider. Healer of the Pride would probably be in there. Johnny Sunstriker's very good. Spike Balef's fine. Plenty of playables in here. We're just slamming a Johnny. That was an awesome pull. Really happy to pick that up. Alright, well, we're certainly taking the Sentinel Spider over the Elvish Visionary. Just get another sweet finisher in Spider, which I like. Not a ton else really good options. This looks like it could probably be a Glorious Charge deck with all the bears. But yeah, we're picking up a Sentinel Spider. That was awesome. Love this card. Okay, so now we have Green Ring, which gives trample, but we don't have a ton of good green creatures to use that with, so I'm not sure if that's going to be the best option. Could pick up a 6-drop now. Pretty unimpressive one, like I was saying, but you know, Ring on Deadly Recluse is very good, and it's still early in pack 3, so I have a chance to pick up some more green creatures. And I like the ring. I like the Green Ring enough on Deadly Recluse, or even like a Bond Beetle, Arbor Elf. There's enough creatures, I think. And on Sentinel Spider, actually giving the trample is very relevant. So I'm not gonna be sad about missing out on that. Timberpack Wolf. If I'd gotten some other ones, I probably would have been more likely to pick that. But yeah, we'll go with the Ring here. Ooh, Vasud Gorger, but we've got the Prey Upon. I think I'm gonna have to pick that. Actually, let me just do a quick count on creatures that are actually good with Prey Upon right now. Well, Sentinel Spider's amazing with it. Pillar Field Ox would probably be just fine. I guess there's not a ton else. I mean, Deadly Recluse, Prey Upon turns into a 2-for-1 against yourself, which kind of sucks, actually. Vasud Gorger is a tempting pick here, as is Spike Baloth. They're fine. Probably more likely to pick the Vasud Gorger since we have the Ring. Fungal Sprouting is fine if I had more fat in this deck. Yeah, actually Prey Upon does not look super playable in this deck. I'd have to, like, if I Titanic Growth something and then Prey Upon, I guess it's just like using a lot of cards, investing too much. I think I'm going to go with the Vasud Gorger. Kind of a weird pick there. I think in most decks Prey Upon would be the pick, but not in that situation, I don't think. Alright, so now we've got a second Arbor Elf. We've got a Griffin Protector, which is very good. This is kind of a tough pick, actually. We don't have a ton that we're ramping into, so Arbor Elf is looking a little less impressive. I don't have a ton that I want to splash for, so Evolving Wilds is not looking that great. I've got like Mog Flunkies or something. Arbor Elf is just significantly better than the Farseek. I guess I want to pick the Arbor Elf because I've got the Ring, so it's another equip target, and getting to your 4, 5, 6 drops faster is good. I can just play less lands. Yeah, I could probably easily play 16 lands in this deck with double Arbor Elf. And I will. Alright, well, dropping a second turn Centaur Courser off your first turn Arbor Elf is always an amazing play, but I do like the Knight of Glory more. And that means we can start cutting these Silvercoat Lions as well. Much rather play the very good Knight of Glory. We're at 24. Why don't we cut the Mastiff? I don't think I'm going to be playing that for this. Well, Courser would be awesome, but I just like the Knight better. Very often it's a relevant protection, and it's got Exalted, so it attacks the same as a Centaur Courser, with the added bonus of having protection. Plummet would be fine for sideboard, probably. Flyers deck. I've got so many guys that can stop flying, though. But am I really hard up missing out on a Pillar Field Ox? Not so much. Liliana Shade is very good for the black strategy. Like a mono black. I don't really know what I'm missing out on here. I don't feel like I'm going to need Plummet. I think I'm going to hate the Shade, because I don't need the Ox either. Shade can actually be very good sometimes. Primal Hump Beast is very good with the Ring, so I guess I'm tempted to play that. Very surprised to see a Crimson Muckwader this late. How good is Primal play in our deck? It's probably fine. I think I'd still prefer to have the Hunt Beast. Just a better 4-drop. I'd cut the Pillar Field Ox over that probably. Alright, now I think I want the Spike Baloth. With the double Titanic growth, it's just looking like something that ramp into. Very good with the Guardians, or very good with any sort of Exalted, which we have a few of. War Falcon actually looks like it's more playable now, I guess, because we have the, what, Knight of Glory, but I'm not really concerned about it. I think we just want the Spike Baloth here. Sweet beater. Rain of Blades, I suppose, is a fine sideboard option. Probably more likely than using Ground Seal. Even though Ground Seal does draw you a card. Yeah, let's take the Rain of Blades sideboard. Somebody's got a million Welcome Turns. Rain of Blades is the card to sideboard into. Erase for sideboard, but we've already got the War Priest. I guess we'll take the Hulk, but I don't think I'm likely to play it, but it's possible. I suppose of all of these, Veilborn Ghoul might be the most annoying. Goblin Battle Jester can indeed be annoying, especially since we don't have a lot of removal for it. Yeah, I guess I take it back. Jester is probably more annoying because I don't have a ton of removal for it. Yeah, I guess we'll pick up a Zombie Goliath. It's more playable than Clock of Omens. And Merfolk, why not? Whatever. Index. Okay, so we actually ended up with a pretty good deck. I mean, we got a Johnny. How bad could it be? And it's actually perfect that we open a Johnny since we're, you know, into white so early. So, yeah, I'll build a deck and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I built it like this. What did I end up cutting last? I was going to try out Fate's Reward main deck, but I feel like it's probably a better sideboard option. I mean, it's probably fine main board too. I think I swapped it for the Safe Passage. I felt like the Safe Passage probably more useful than the Fate's Reward. I mean, I suppose they kind of serve a different purpose. I mean, Fate's Reward protects you from like murders, crippling blights, and stuff like that. Safe Passage protects you from like burn spells and awkward or just like weird attacks and stuff. So yeah, I suppose I like the Safe Passage a little more than the Fate's Reward. I can always sideboard into this if I need to against like the murder deck or something. The murder deck, like that's a deck. Alright, how does this look overall? I actually really like the way this deck panned out. I have some very solid drops for both of these colors. We got a Johnny. I mean, a Johnny aside, we've got Double Sentinel Spider, Vast Gorger. I ended up playing the Hulk over a Silvercoat Lion because I felt like 5 2-drop creatures was probably enough, and I want to really just make sure that I'm getting maximum use out of these Arbor Elves. I've played a couple drafts now where I've drafted just a ton of Arbor Elves and just gotten super mana flooded, so I wanted to make sure that I've got enough top end where these Arbor Elves aren't going to be like a regret, you know, top decking an Arbor Elf and then not being able to do anything with it. I mean, having the added bonus of a Ring of Colonia is very nice for something for your small green creatures to do. Even though I started heavy white, oddly enough I ended up with more green picks. So I like the way this deck looks. I think it could very easily win. I think it looks pretty strong. I've got some battles ahead of me though. I mean, I don't have much removal. I've got Divine Verdict, and I'm using Safe Passage and Titanic Growths, and like actually Safe Passage with Deadly Recluse is very good. Turns Safe Passage into essentially like a removal spell, I guess. Anyway, I like the way this deck looks. I think it's very strong, has a lot of potential. So, yeah, we're gonna go to round 1. Wish me luck.